All right, so today we're going to be diving into a world
Oh, I love it.
that's filled with beauty and logistics.
Yes.
We're talking about
Yeah.
prepping you for an import-export specialist interview in the flower and plant industry.
Very cool.
Talk about a cool gig.
Yeah.
You'll be dealing with gorgeous blooms, A&D, navigating the complexities of global trade.
It's a really cool job.
We've sent over some great sources,
Yeah.
career guides, and a whole repository of potential interview questions.
Love it.
Perfect combo.
Mhm.
Our mission today is to help you craft answers that go beyond the surface level,
Yes.
giving you that extra edge.
For sure.
And we'll sprinkle in some tips on how RoleCatcher's AI can help you really stand out.
Very important.
So the career guide we have paints this fascinating picture of the role.
Yeah.
It's a blend of logistics regulations and, yes, even people skills.
Absolutely.
You're coordinating shipments, navigating customs, but also building relationships with suppliers and customers worldwide.
That's the whole picture.
Okay, so let's jump into those interview questions.
Love it.
We've got 9 of them to unpack.
Right.
The first one is pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Can you explain the process of importing and exporting flowers and plants?
Yeah.
Seems simple enough, right?
It does, but it's really their chance to gauge your real-world understanding.
Oh, okay.
They might follow up with, what are some challenges you've encountered during import? Or, how would you handle a shipment delay due to unforeseen circumstances?
Oh.
They want to see you can handle the unexpected.
Oh, good point. And here's where RoleCatcher's AI can be a game changer.
Yes.
It can analyze the job description and suggest relevant details from your own experience.
Very helpful.
Let's say you once navigated a tricky customs issue.
Yeah,
RoleCatcher can remind you of that,
exactly.
helping you weave it into your answer for instant credibility.
Exactly. And when you're crafting your response structure, like a story,
Okay.
start with sourcing those flowers, mention those all-important phytosanitary certificates.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, are like a passport for plants, proving they're pest-free and safe to import. Okay.
Then walk them through customs, clearance, transportation, and finally delivery.
Okay.
Hit those key steps, but don't forget to personalize it with a brief anecdote that shows off your problem-solving skills.
Okay. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
On to question number 2. How do you determine the appropriate packaging for flowers and plants during transport?
Okay.
Been pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But what are they really digging for here?
They want to see that you understand the delicate nature of these living products.
Okay.
Temperature control, humidity, fragility. It all plays a role.
Oh, wow.
Imagine them asking, what types of packaging are best for, say, roses versus orchids? Or how do you ensure eco-friendly packaging practices?
Right.
Sustainability is a huge factor these days.
Totally. And RoleCatcher can help here too, right? It can suggest industry standard packaging solutions, maybe even some innovative sustainable options,
Yeah.
showing you're ahead of the curve.
Precisely. Show them you're not just shipping boxes, you're caring for living things.
Right. Mentioning things like temperature-controlled containers, ethylene-absorbing materials to prevent premature wilting, and biodegradable packaging can really make an impression.
Love it. Okay, question 3 dives into the big picture. How do you manage the logistics of importing and exporting flowers and plants? This one feels like it could get complex fast.
It can. They're assessing your organizational skills and your ability to juggle multiple shipments, track deliveries, and anticipate potential hiccups.
Okay.
Think about follow-up questions like, what logistics software are you familiar with? Or how do you optimize shipping routes for efficiency and cost effectiveness?
I could already see the listener frantically taking notes.
Yeah.
Don't worry, RoleCatcher's AI can help you organize all your logistics experience into a compelling narrative.
For sure.
It's like having a storytelling coach in your pocket.
Picture this. You start by outlining your overall logistics strategy, emphasizing your proactive approach to risk management.
Okay.
Then boom, you illustrate it with a specific example.
No.
Maybe you averted a major delay by rerouting a shipment due to a sudden storm. Structured, engaging, and memorable.
Perfect. Now, question 4 gets into the legal side of things.
Okay.
Can you discuss your experience with customs regulations and compliance? This sounds a bit intimidating.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
They need to know you're detail-oriented and up-to-date on all the legal complexities. Think about potential follow-up questions like, do you know about the new labeling requirements for organic flowers imported from South America? Or how do you stay informed about evolving trade agreements?
Thankfully, RoleCatcher AI can be our compliance guru. It ensures your answers reflect the latest regulations,
Absolutely.
saving you from any outdated info that could raise red flags.
Imagine confidently saying, I recently attended a webinar on updated CITES regulations for endangered plant species, ensuring full compliance with the latest restrictions.
Right.
That kind of proactive approach really demonstrates your commitment.
Okay, question 5 is all about quality. How do you manage quality control during the import-export process? We all want those flowers to arrive fresh and vibrant, right?
Right.
Absolutely. This is your chance to shine a light on your commitment to excellence. They want to hear about your inspection processes, how you handle temperature fluctuations during transport, and your approach to addressing any quality issues that inevitably arise.
For sure.
And I bet RoleCatcher's AI can help structure a response that highlights both proactive and reactive quality control measures.
Yeah.
Maybe even suggest industry standard inspection checklists. That would show some serious attention to detail.
Precisely. You want to demonstrate a system for maintaining quality from the moment those flowers are harvested to when they reach the customer. Mentioning tools like cold chain monitoring systems or your experience with third-party quality assurance inspections adds an extra layer of professionalism.
All right. Feeling pretty good about those first 5 questions.
Yeah, me too.
What's next?
Let's take a breath and remember.
Yeah.
This rule isn't just about acing the technical questions. The career guide we've been looking at emphasizes the importance of people skills.
Right.
Think about it.
Okay.
You're the link between growers, shippers, customs officials, and ultimately the people who enjoy those beautiful blooms.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So even though the next few questions dive into negotiation and financial management,
Yeah.
we need to keep that human element in mind, right?
Absolutely. It's about striking a balance between technical expertise and interpersonal skills.
Okay.
Let's see how those next questions play into this.
Okay.
All right. So question number 6
Okay.
takes us into the world of deal making.
Right.
Can you discuss your experience in negotiating contracts and agreements?
Oh, okay.
This one is all about showcasing your ability to secure those win-win situations.
Yeah, it sounds like it requires some serious finesse. It's not just about knowing your flowers anymore.
Right.
It's about knowing how to navigate those business deals.
Absolutely.
What are some key things our listeners should keep in mind when tackling this question?
Well, think of yourself as a diplomat representing your company.
Okay.
They're looking for someone who can be assertive, yet diplomatic, securing favorable terms while maintaining those all-important positive relationships. Have you ever negotiated a lower shipping rate with a new logistics provider?
Okay.
Or maybe you convinced a supplier to extend payment terms during a challenging season.
Right.
Those are the stories that will grab their attention.
That's such a great point. And it goes back to what we were just talking about.
Exactly.
Those people skills.
Yes.
The career guide really highlights how essential communication and relationship building are throughout this entire role.
Absolutely.
So being able to negotiate effectively is a major plus.
Definitely. Remember, it's not just about getting the lowest price.
Right.
It's about building trust and mutual respect.
Okay.
Be prepared for follow-up questions that delve into your approach.
Okay.
They might ask, how do you handle disagreements during negotiations? Or what's your strategy for dealing with those tough personalities?
Those are some great points. Now, question 7
Okay.
takes us into the financial side of things. Can you describe your experience in managing import-export budgets and finances?
All right.
I can already hear the calculators clicking.
Uh-huh. Don't worry. Okay.
It's not about being a math whiz.
Okay.
It's about demonstrating your understanding of the financial implications of this role.
Okay.
Think about times you've tracked expenses, managed cash flow, or made decisions that impacted the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever spot a cost-saving measure that reduced shipping expenses?
Right.
Or maybe you analyzed market trends to optimize pricing strategies.
Okay.
These are the kind of examples that will demonstrate your financial savvy.
Right. It's about showing that you're not just passionate about the product.
Exactly.
You're also thinking about the business as a whole.
The whole picture.
And this ties back to those different career stages we discussed earlier.
Right.
Someone at a senior level might be responsible for managing larger budgets and making more strategic financial decisions. Absolutely. Knowing where you fit in that hierarchy and tailoring your answers to reflect the level of financial responsibility you've held is key.
Okay.
And be ready for those curveball questions that test your knowledge of industry-specific financial concepts.
Right.
They might ask, how do you factor in currency fluctuations when planning budgets? Or what are your strategies for mitigating financial risks associated with international trade?
Okay, on to question 8.
All right.
This one brings us back to the heart of the industry. Can you discuss your experience in managing relationships with suppliers and customers?
Oh, yeah.
Building strong connections must be crucial in this global flower trade.
It's essential. Think of those suppliers and customers as your extended team.
Okay.
They're the ones who help you bring those beautiful blooms to the world.
Yeah.
Highlight situations where you went above and beyond to nurture those relationships, or perhaps you collaborated with a supplier to develop a new, more sustainable packaging solution.
Uh-huh.
These are the kind of stories that demonstrate your commitment to collaboration and partnership.
I love those examples.
Yeah.
It really shows you're invested in those long-term relationships,
Absolutely.
not just focused on individual transactions.
Right.
And remember, cultural sensitivity is key when dealing with international partners.
Oh, for sure.
The career guide we've been using mentions the importance of understanding and respecting different business customs and communication styles.
That's a really good point. They might ask you about specific experiences navigating cultural differences or how you adapted your communication style to build rapport with people from diverse backgrounds.
Yeah.
Think about a time you had to bridge a communication gap with a supplier from a different country.
Okay.
How did you overcome those challenges and ensure a successful outcome?
Okay, so we've covered 8 out of 9 questions.
We're on a roll.
Before we tackle that final question,
Yeah.
I want to circle back to RoleCatcher for a minute.
Oh.
We've mentioned how its AI can help with things like suggesting relevant experiences from your past or ensuring your answers are up to date on regulations. But can it also help with the people skills aspect of these questions?
Absolutely. One of the things RoleCatcher is really great at is analyzing the tone and style in job descriptions.
Okay.
So it can pick up on whether a company seems to value a more formal, buttoned-up approach or a more relaxed, collaborative vibe.
That's so helpful. So, for example, if RoleCatcher senses that a company is all about teamwork and open communication,
Right.
it might suggest tweaking our answer to question 8, the one about managing relationships, to emphasize those collaborative aspects even more.
Exactly. It can help you tailor your responses to align with the company's specific culture,
Right.
which can make a huge difference in how you come across in the interview.
Okay, that's a great tip.
Yeah.
Now on to that last question.
All right, let's do it.
This one is all about staying ahead of the curve.
Okay.
How do you stay up to date on industry trends and regulations related to import-export operations?
Yeah.
It's a fast-paced world out there, so how do we show them we're on top of it all?
They're looking for that lifelong learner mentality.
Yeah.
Show them you're actively seeking new information and staying ahead of the game.
Okay.
Be prepared to talk about specific industry publications you follow, maybe the Floriculture Times or Floral Daily. Have you attended any webinars or conferences lately? Don't be afraid to name drop those events.
And here's where RoleCatcher can really shine again. Remember how we talked about it being able to scan industry news?
Yes.
Imagine it suggesting you mention a recent development, like a new trade agreement or a sustainability initiative.
Oh, that's good.
It's like having a personalized news feed for your interview prep.
Exactly. Think about saying something like, I recently read an article in the Floriculture Times about the growing demand for organic and fair trade flowers, which aligns perfectly with my commitment to ethical sourcing practices.
Right.
See, you've demonstrated your knowledge, your values, and your dedication to staying informed all in one go.
Okay, we've officially tackled all 9 interview questions. Feeling pretty empowered.
Yeah.
But we're not done yet.
Oh.
There's more to acing this interview than just rehearsing answers.
Right.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Preparation is key.
Yes.
Beyond these practice questions, you should thoroughly research the company and its specific import-export practices.
Absolutely.
What countries do they source from? What are their shipping methods?
Yeah.
The more you know, the more you can tailor your responses and demonstrate your genuine interest.
Exactly.
And don't forget about those career stages we mentioned earlier from the guide.
Yeah.
Think about where you are in your career trajectory.
Yeah.
Entry-level, mid-level, senior.
Uh-huh.
And tailor your answers accordingly.
Absolutely. A hiring manager will have different expectations for someone just starting out versus someone with years of experience.
Right.
Aligning your answers with your career stage shows you understand the demands of the specific role you're applying for.
And speaking of being prepared, the guide also mentions some alternative job titles, things like International Logistics Coordinator or Floral Import Manager.
Right.
Why is that important to know?
It's a fantastic point. Broadening your search terms can open up more opportunities you might not have considered otherwise.
Okay.
You might even find a role that aligns more perfectly with your skills and aspirations.
So we've prepped for the questions they'll ask us.
Right.
We've talked about tailoring our answers to the company and our career stage.
Yeah.
And we've even got some extra search terms to expand our job hunt.
It's all coming together.
What else can we do to really nail this interview?
This might sound obvious, but practice, practice, practice.
Oh, right.
Rehearse your answers out loud. Maybe even do a mock interview with a friend or mentor.
Okay.
The more comfortable you are talking about your experiences,
Mm-hmm.
the more confident you'll come across.
Great advice. And speaking of practice, RoleCatcher's AI can be a super helpful tool here too.
Oh, for sure.
Remember that video practice feature we mentioned earlier?
Yes.
You can record yourself answering those tough questions and get AI-powered feedback on your delivery, your body language, everything.
It's like having a personal interview coach in your pocket.
Right.
And don't forget about those AI-powered tailoring features for your resume and cover letter.
Right.
Making sure those documents are optimized for the specific job you're applying for can really increase your chances of getting that interview in the first place.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From understanding the intricacies of the flower trade to mastering those interview questions and even getting tips on how to present ourselves confidently.
Yeah, it's been great.
Feeling inspired.
Me too. This role combines passion, expertise, and a global perspective.
Yeah.
It's truly a unique opportunity.
It is.
And with the right preparation and mindset, our listener is well on their way to blooming in this exciting field.
All right, one last thing before we wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
Remember those pros and cons the career guide listed? It's important to go into this interview with a realistic understanding of the challenges as well as the rewards.
That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
This job can be demanding with long hours, complex regulations, and a constantly evolving global market.
Right.
But for those with a passion for flowers and a knack for navigating international trade, it can be an incredibly fulfilling career.
So before we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect.
Okay.
What are some key takeaways our listeners should keep in mind as they continue their interview prep?
First and foremost, let your passion shine through. Let them see your enthusiasm for flowers and the global trade.
Okay.
Second, highlight your relevant skills and experiences. Use those interview questions as opportunities to tell compelling stories that demonstrate your expertise.
Right.
And finally, don't be afraid to ask thoughtful questions.
Okay.
It shows you're engaged and genuinely interested in the company and the role.
I love those takeaways. All right, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of import-export specialists in flowers and plants. So we've covered a ton of ground in this deep dive, from unpacking the nuances of the role to tackling those tricky interview questions.
Yeah, we really have.
We even explored how RoleCatcher's AI can be your secret weapon throughout the entire process.
Right, from beginning to end.
And don't forget those valuable insights from the career guide.
Yes.
Which have helped us tailor our approach to different career stages and even broaden our job search with alternative titles.
Absolutely.
But before we send you off to wow those interviewers, we've got one last piece of advice.
Okay, I love it.
It's all about that extra oomph.
Okay.
Showing them you're not just prepped for the interview,
Right.
but that you're truly passionate about this industry.
Yes, show them that you're invested.
Imagine this.
Okay.
You walk into the interview and casually mention a recent challenge the flower industry faced.
Okay.
Maybe a supply chain disruption caused by extreme weather, or a new regulation impacting import quotas.
Oh, very good.
Ooh, I like where you're going with this.
Yeah.
It's about demonstrating that you're not just reciting memorized answers,
Right.
but that you're actively engaged with what's happening in the industry.
Exactly. Briefly discussing the issue, its impact on the global flower trade and even potential solutions shows a depth of understanding that most candidates won't even consider.
It's like turning a classic interview question, why are you interested in this role, into an opportunity to showcase your proactive research and genuine curiosity.
Precisely. It also subtly highlights your problem-solving skills.
Right.
You're not just aware of the issue, you're thinking about ways to address it.
Okay. I'm convinced this is a fantastic tip. And while we're on the topic of going above and beyond, let's give a final shout out to RoleCatcher.
Absolutely. From tailoring your resume to match the specific job description to practicing your interview answers with AI-powered feedback, RoleCatcher can be your partner throughout this whole journey.
It's like having a team of career experts in your corner, cheering you on every step of the way.
I love it.
And the best part, you can access many of these amazing features for free.
That's incredible.
Just signing up for a RoleCatcher account opens up a world of resources designed to help you land that dream job.
Yeah, what are you waiting for?
So there you have it, our deep dive into the world of import-export specialists in flowers and plants.
It's been fun.
We've equipped you with the knowledge, the strategies, and the tools to conquer those interviews and blossom in this exciting field.
Absolutely.
Remember, combine your passion for flowers with a solid understanding of global trade.
Yes.
Showcase your skills and experiences, and don't be afraid to go that extra mile.
It'll make all the difference.
We're so excited for you to embark on this adventure. Until next time, keep blooming and keep diving deep.
See you next time.